good afternoon. I'll be talking today about some environmental considerations in Lebanese municipalities, and mainly I concentrate on wastewater issues, as well as some recommendations, what has to be done, and the impact of climate change on this subject. I'm the director of the Institute of Water Resources and Environmental Technology at the Lebanese American University in Byblos, Lebanon. We all know that water is like energy, will be probably become the most critical natural resource that many parts of the world are facing, specifically in the Middle East, where water security is becoming like food security, is a matter of survival. Water is instrumental in agriculture, industry, and economic development. And the scarcity of water is not only from the lack of supply, it may be from the abuse or overuse of our available resources. If we can put all the water that exists in this universe in this jar, then the fresh water can only be a spoon. So that shows the amount, how little the amount of fresh water that's available to be used in comparison with that jar. Therefore, it's crucial to develop new sources through wastewater reclamation, brackish and seawater desalination, cloud seeding, water transport, etc. Disposal of human waste and organic waste has been a problem since the immemorial. However, the problem was not that big, that large in ancient times, but it magnified due to the increase in population and the industrialization. I will share with you this text that I found. Cause and effect, means and end, seed and fruit cannot be severed, for the effect already blooms in the cause, the end pre-exists in the means, and the fruit is in the seed. Therefore, remedies to this problem, we have to know the source of pollution, study pollutant transport and spreading, eliminate any future pollution, and recover the existing water. The existing conditions in Lebanon, domestic wastewater management is one of the greatest challenges that the country is facing, the municipalities basically, and the concerned water authorities, as well as the ministries. Until recently, the common disposal is through septic tanks. However, with the National Waste Management Plan that was developed in '82, this was an extensive review and analysis of the waste management needs and procedures. It was updated in '95 and still under update. Currently, we have over 50% of the population is served with sewage systems, no fully operational wastewater treatment plant, only 2 small ones that are existing. But the government is providing or hoping to provide to 524 communities construction of 74 wastewater treatment plants, including 10 coastal sites with sea outfalls, which I'll show on this map. We see here the coastal sites where the discharge will go to the Mediterranean. And we have several inland treatment plants to be built. The significant improvements are being made to the sewer network. However, little has been achieved to the wastewater treatment, although several wastewater treatment plants are expected to become operational in the next few years. As for Beirut, which is the major city in Lebanon, the wastewater for Beirut is collected from different parts, and there are 2 coastal collectors. The northern coastal collector, which is 17 kilometers long, it consists of 2 parts serving future population of about 900,000 people. And we have the southern collector, which is about 9 kilometers long, and it serves about 800,000 future populations. And this is basically a map of the 2 coastal collectors. We see that the northern coastal collector serves or feeds the Daura treatment plant, which is a proposed treatment plant. Currently, we have a sea outfall discharging untreated sewage, whereas on the southern part of Beirut, we have the Ghadir treatment plant, which is an existing one, and this is a preliminary treatment plant. These coastal collectors were constructed. The northern part was completed in 2001. The Daura treatment plant is serving Greater Beirut region with about 325,000 meter cube a day, which means that we have 0.35 million cubic meters per day lost to the Mediterranean, and this causes pollutions. These quantities are lost quantities which could be treated, used, and reclaimed for various purposes. Design has started over 5 years ago on many of these projects, but some of them are not operational yet. The delays could be for many reasons, including availability of funds, lengthy bureaucratic procedure, not to neglect any political reasons. Therefore, it's important to establish technically feasible and cost-effective, suitable wastewater reclamation methods for the ultimate use of treated sewage effluent. This is a lifting station on the coastal side on the northern collector for Beirut. This is the treatment plant, the existing treatment plant in Ghadir area, which is a preliminary treatment constituting of aerated grit chambers as well as screens only. This is a picture of the treatment plant in Saida that's being under construction. This is in Baalbek, which is again under construction, but it's not operational yet. The Tripoli treatment plant is advancing in construction, but it's not final, not commissioned yet. This is another treatment plant that's constructed in Nabatiya area, but it's not fully operational. So these examples give us an idea of the situation, the general situation about the wastewater in Lebanon. There are many factors that we need to take in our process selection. However, the most important of these factors is the availability of power supply, continuous power supply, the cost of the land, which is getting to be very, very expensive, and these are coastal areas of prime locations, and the existence of skilled labor to operate and maintain these plants once they are operational. The climate change has definitely an impact. Global warming is associated with a spectrum of changes, but we need to assess or know what is the significant impact on our supplies throughout the country in the coming decades. Our water management plans and climate change adaptation plans will definitely reduce the problems, but they're not expected to counterbalance the effect of climate change. And no way we can truly manage the risk other than taking the steps necessary to slow down and reverse warming trends, which requires action and global leadership, cooperation. Some recommendations. We need to adopt well-planned policies, proper management, rationalization of consumption, and protecting our supplies. Through optimum utilization of available water resources and exploitation of new natural and non-conventional water resources as wastewater reclamation, brackish and seawater desalination, cloud seeding, water transport. We shall develop some strategies that revolve around the dimensions of sustainability and integrated approach rather than taking that in pieces. We have to update our legislation and institutional setup, private sector participation, private-public partnership are very important in our future developments. And the challenge basically is to evaluate the different options that we have and adapt a proper solution for each community. Use non-price measures to encourage consumers to use water more efficiently. Implement water pricing reforms. This is very difficult. The subscribers may resist, but we need to have affordable tariff system rather than having a flat tariff for consumption. And we need to remove any major constraints on water efficient management solutions. Our laws, they may be fragmented sometimes. There could be an overlap between authorities. That's why we need to establish a new set of laws that are very simple, not detailed, but stress on coordination between different water bodies, not overlap of authorities. They have to be very clear organizational-wise. They had adhered to the international rules and regulations, and we set our priorities through these laws. We have to select the proper wastewater treatment process, which depends on many factors. We have to eliminate any wasteful use of water and regulate mining activities, encourage public participation in pollution reduction, adopt integrated watershed management approach, prepare, which is a very important step, a coastal zone management plan that will be hopefully approved and legally binding on all future coastal developments, and establish a coordination mechanism between the concerned ministries to avoid fragmentation and develop impact monitoring indicators to measure the progress. Improve the cost recovery and modernize wastewater management and finance systems. Improve the national agricultural production, which have a positive impact. Develop new water resources such as treated sewage effluent with optimal utilization of the available water, wastewater, in which reuse plays a vital, important part. Avoid uncontrolled wastewater irrigation practices, since this may have detrimental effect on health, on the soil, and on the people dealing with that. And apply low-cost and environmentally sound methods for developing new water sources and supplies for agriculture and drinking. The potential alternatives to implement, attempting to counterbalance the impact of climate change on water resources. We need to modify withdrawals, increase the water use efficiency, increase recycling, enhance groundwater recharge, implementing rainwater harvesting, and use transfer to make up for the water deficit in many locations. The changes due to global warming may simply outrun the potential alternatives, but we have to act. Governments and people shall work together and hard enough to cut the greenhouse gases, and everyone can help. There are many possible venues. We can improve on energy efficiency, vehicle fuel economy, hydrogen produced from renewable sources, biofuels, etc. There are many options. We increase the amount of gases we take out of the atmosphere by plantation, by different methods. Increase the forest lands and make changes to the way we farm. Some of these technologies may have some drawbacks. However, communities will have to make up their decisions on what suits their lives, on their boundaries. The good news, there are a variety of options to put us on the path towards a stable climate if we cooperate together and work for a better future. Thank you for your kind attention.